Evening, everybody. Welcome to Lethal Sales. This is our 1 year anniversary party. Yeah. Okay, I will invite you all to partake. I don't know if you can see this of our crudité buffet, and I hope you brought your adult beverage along. And the way this is going to work is I'm going to hand the mic over to somebody, and that somebody will then hand the mic over to the next person, a person of his choice. And tonight I choose one of our most loyal participants here at Lethal Sales, somebody who a man after my own heart, doesn't take a vacation like me.
Thanks, Rhonda.
You're welcome, but it's not you. Okay, Mike Larkin, you're on.
Woohoo! Hey guys. Hey, with this, my poor goat has taken it on the chin. So I put into ChatGPT, hey, give me a couple of jokes comparing Tom Brady to car dealerships, and here's what I had, and it put some really awful stuff, but these are the ones that it came up with. Tom Brady gets respect on and off the field. Car dealerships get as much respect as a mime at a heavy metal concert. And I got, that's okay, but put it in the persona of Rodney Dangerfield. And this is what it came up with. Tom Brady's leadership brings out the best in his team. Car dealers, they bring out the worst in you. I tell you, I haven't been that hustled since I played 3-card Monte in Times Square.
Oh, God.
So your dad jokes are not there.
Yeah, I know. Let's let Larry take care of the jokes from now on.
As a matter of fact, in honor of the fact that two of my all-time favorite Canadians are on this show, Mr. Kostakis and Mr. Peter Smith. I told this
what about Joshua Taylor?
Oh, Joshua, you on too? Yeah. I'm sorry, my buddy.
Man,
I was too busy trying to figure out what Paul Meyer had for dinner.
No love, Josh. No love, man.
Joshua, this is for the three of you. This executive in Los Angeles, very aggressive.
It hurt a little bit more because I'm actively editing his freaking episode for the podcast, for God's sake.
Back to my joke. This very aggressive executive in Los Angeles. I mean, Stone winner. He knows he's going to get this promotion. He finally gets called into the CEO's office. He says, I guess it's the worst kept secret we have. You got the promotion. He says, boss, I'm so proud. Will I be moving up to the penthouse in the office next to you? He says, no. What are you talking about? We're fine in Los Angeles. We need you in Canada. He says, boss, why would I want to go to Canada? There's nobody there but whores and hockey players. So the CEO stands up and he says, my mother lives in Canada. He goes, really? What position does she play?
But I'm bummed.
Hey, I'm funnier in person. What do you want? It's video. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I bow to your the mother hockey player. So,
yeah. Well, what's new in your life?
You know what? Again, I'm kind of on the deep end of this AI thing. We just learned this week how to do any offer and do an entire campaign. Look, I'll tell you about it next week, but it's crazy some of the stuff going on. But I'm gonna pass the baton. I'm gonna pass the baton to my friend and fellow Connecticut. I don't know if that's a word. Paul Meyer, it's great to see you, man.
Thank you. I haven't had a chance to log on because you guys always have the show when I'm in the middle of my 3-hour dinner hour.
Oh.
It's great to see you, man.
Thank you. I have to be at the airport at 2:30 this morning.
There are worse things in life than a 3-hour dinner hour.
Yeah, but
Wendy, you would know.
He's a car guy. What's wrong with a slice of pizza at 10 o'clock at night when you close 2 deals?
Only if it's cold.
Only if it's from the Haven.
Where do you go? Where do you go in New Haven for your pizza?
I go to Modern Abits. That's my favorite.
Ooh.
Then I go to Zupardi's in West Haven. I go to Ernie's somewhere else in New Haven. Those are my three top three.
So having said that,
anything in Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, do they actually have pizza down there?
No, you're not getting pizza, kosher deli, or Chinese food in Tampa Bay.
Didn't think so. You gotta go to the other coast to get pizza in Florida.
Hey guys, would you mind? I never get him on the damn show, and he's one of my best buddies. Could we hear a word or two from John Kostakis? John, how are things going? What have you been doing? See your videos every day. How are you, my friend?
Good. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
can't see you.
me?
But we
Yes.
can't
I
see
don't
you.
know how to
Yes.
do. No, I don't know how to do it.
We can hear
Larry,
you.
thank you. I've been trying to get on this thing for so many every Wednesday. That's then I sometimes I can't do it. I don't know how to do it, but I'm just honored to be on there and yeah, things are going good. I got a couple of shows I'm promoting in Ontario, and the car market seems to be back, well, almost back to normal, except for Toyota, and they have no product, but everybody else is now they're starting to negotiate, and it's there's a demand for training. The days of the laydowns and are over. But what I noticed actually, the biggest thing is such a lack of it's always been like they're just winging it. They've been winging it for years.
No.
Like these big companies will sell all these expensive things and products and software, and you go to a guy, he can't even do a proper meet and greet. I shopped the meet and greet from Tampa Bay to Virginia to Cleveland to Toronto, and no one has gotten it right. Nobody. Not
Sound like
one.
Mel
Actually, I
Osman.
agree with you.
Huh? So
You sound
there's-
like Mel Osman.
Yeah. So anyways,
No.
but Larry, let me say something about Mr. Larry Feldman. This beautiful man. I have never. So listen, I've promoted, for example, I've like the Grant Cardonas when I started, then Dwayne Marino in Canada, Damien Boudreau down in he's the coach of Ali Rita, who sold, the world record holder, all these guys. But in all my times, I have never seen a man be able to connect with at store level when we do the store visits and the audience at the seminar like Larry. And his, secret weapon is a sense of humor, but his ability, I've never seen anybody be able to connect with somebody and make him laugh and have fun like Larry did. So that's a special gift, and the musical background. And it was a pleasure. And Larry, thank you so much for helping me, because during COVID, I'm in the seminar business, and I was almost bankrupt. And it's guys like you and a few other people that stepped up and helped me, did seminars for me. So from the bottom of my heart, I love you and I thank you for that. You saved my
You know
life.
what? It's our 1 year anniversary. We got my buddy John Kostakis on. Rhonda, I'll be quick, but let me tell the COVID story because it's Kostakis' favorite.
Oh yeah, Larry.
Listen, I'm up with John Kostakis in Edmonton. He's the world's best promoter. We had I don't know how many hundreds of people. It was fabulous. And this is in the middle of COVID. And I get to the airport and I hand my suitcase over, a very nice young lady. And she says, do you have your negative COVID test? I said, I really didn't know I needed one. She says, nope, if you're going back into America, you have to have a negative COVID test. She points to me 100 yards down. She says, they'll do it immediately. I get there. I'm with 10 other people. Every single person gets a piece of paper. I get called into the office. Sir, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you are positive for COVID. Now, he told me that it's going to be 2 weeks confinement in Edmonton. And as the Canadians on the show know, even Wayne Gretzky didn't want to stay in Edmonton. So went back to the young lady, took the piece of paper on the top. It had the barcode on the bottom. It had positive, folded it in half, charmed her. Next thing you know, I'm on the plane. I think I'm the only guy that escaped. And the message is, if you're positive, if you anticipate something positive happening, if everything isn't the end of the world and negative, some amazing shit can happen. I'm allowed to say shit. She suspended the curse jar this week. Hey, we're gonna get everybody, but we got Kaylee Feely, who is the preeminent parts person on the planet Earth, and Ron Boss, who's my buddy. And Ron is a Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer in Swedesboro. Hey, Ron, we're glad to see you, my buddy. Would you or Kaylee like to speak first and tell us how things are going? And thank you so much for celebrating with us a year on the Door Knock podcast.
I can
Go
go.
ahead, Kaylee. Kaylee?
Yeah. So yeah, everything's good. I'm just, you know, catching up, I feel like. But yeah, everything's good. I've been slacking on my content, that's for sure. And now my dog's barking at me talking.
Did you go
anyways,
were you at WOCAN? Were you at the
no,
women's-
I haven't done any conferences yet this year. The only one I was able to sneak away to was Business Bourbon and Cigars, because it was in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's like a 2-hour drive for me. So I'm hoping to get to something towards the end of the year.
And NADA where you spoke.
Oh wait, that was this year. Yeah, I did do that.
She might have been smoking something other than cigars when she was at that conference. Slight memory loss. That's
Mom
okay.
brain, baby brain.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like I can't believe it's already June almost. It just feels crazy. But yeah, everything's good. I feel very busy and just hoping to get some good articles out about the conversations I'm having. And share all that with you guys. But that's all.
Cool.
That's all I got.
Kaylee, we love you. Hey, Ron, do you have a minute to speak? For anybody that doesn't know, Ron is a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. He took time away from the suicide prevention hotline when he saw his inventory to call in tonight. The floor is yours, Ron.
Just good evening, everybody. I'm just enjoying the daily beat down being a Chrysler dealer in this environment, but all you can do is laugh, just take one day at a time. Here's what it is. Can't really say I have a whole lot to add other than just keep smiling. That's about all I can do right now.
Absolutely. And the power of positivity to you, Ron.
Hey,
Yep.
Peter, it looks like we've got Dan Stockel on. Dan, would you like to say hi and give some ideas as to what you do?
I think Dan is muted right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? You cannot mute Russell Hill. Russell, how are things going, my buddy? Son of a gun. Maybe you can mute him. You're still muted too, my friend.
He is muted.
If anybody asks me, it's always the greatest day of my life. It's never okay or fine. No disrespect, Rhonda, but most people are preoccupied in other areas of their mind when they say okay or fine. If you watch their eyes, they avert because they're somewhere else. It is the greatest day of my life because it's the only day we got. It really is the only day we got. And I make the most of it every single minute of the day. When I get off track, as I sometimes do, I'll read something, I'll listen to something, I'll pop into a show like this, or somebody will send me a nice recording like Larry did, or just something that's thought provoking that keeps me, or listening to Mike Larkin. It's a phenomenal guy. And yeah, I'm winding down though. This is the end of the day for me, but it has been a busy, very productive day. And I can tell you right now that I am truly a blessed man. Beautiful wife, family, grandkids, business, and the relationship I have with my God. It is phenomenal.
And you're above ground.
And I'm damn right I'm above ground. Yep, absolutely.
Hey, Russell, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. When you're done, let's get our boy Doug Reeves in here. We always love when Doug pops in. Doug?
How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Great, man.
Thanks, Doug.
So life is great here for me, but I really wanted to comment about this show. I mean, it's a 1-year anniversary, and while I've accepted the fact that Larry has a propensity for political and historical dialogue, as well as slipping in a few jokes here and there. I guess what I've really appreciated though is the fact that you're allowed to disagree with people on this show. We don't get into the minutia of let me sell my product. It's more of an organic show about the industry and what's wrong and how can we fix that. And in spite of all the nonsense that Larry insists upon, it ends up showing a lot of good content in the end. So I appreciate what you're doing and I appreciate being a part of it. And again, I'm in Colorado, so life is always good here. So that's all I got to say.
Did you notice that he complimented me while calling me nonsensical? I believe Shakespeare called that damning with faint praise, but I love him, so I'll take it.
Absolutely. Now hold on. Is that Michael Barrich actually on a video?
It's the Titan. It's the Titan. It's the Titan.
Michael, sometimes we catch you at dinner. Can you speak for a minute, my buddy? It's always great to see you.
He's on the treadmill.
Oh, it's even better.
It don't matter if it's 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock at night. He's on a treadmill or something.
I'm trying to do
what's happening,
something,
my buddy.
And what I'm doing right now is coming back from the dock. My little 5-year-old buddy and I did a little fishing. And if I could figure out a way to change this camera around, how about that?
There you go.
It looks like a shark amongst a bunch of minnows or something. Is that right?
Oh, that could happen.
That's his background.
Anyway, I'm sitting here looking at 3 turkeys, 1 chicken, 2 chickens, 3 chickens, 2 guinea fowl, a goose, and a duck. We've got all the little birds in the backyard. And I'm sorry I can't get them.
They're live, Jeff.
Yeah, Michael, you're still at work?
It sounds like you're in Brian Maxwell's backyard. We lost him there, but it sounds like
sometimes.
Brian.
Hey,
Brian
we got 2 people that were kind enough to guest on the show in Baltimore. We got Joe Jackson and Tim Nielsen. You won't find 2 nicer guys. Joe, it's great to see you again, my buddy. How are things going?
Yeah, thank you, Larry. Yeah, everything's great. Just Wednesday night, pickleball night. So I'm getting ready to go meet my friends and go play pickleball for a couple of hours.
For anybody that doesn't know, there is no better direct mail guy in the United States than Joe Jackson. And on top of that, he's a hell of a good guy. If you need if any of your dealers need some mail, if the traffic isn't there, this guy's a wizard. It's great to see you, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
And not
later on, once Rhonda's drunk, we'll set something on fire. Let you have some fun, Joe. Do what you really like.
All right, can't wait. I got my water here.
And on top of that, Larry, Joe is one of the biggest volunteers of effort across our industry and in firehouses. So,
Joe, you're a stud, man.
He runs into the fire when everybody else is running away from him. How do you not admire a guy like that? And he's always
as a
smiling.
volunteer. As a volunteer, not a So
Tim,
very good.
Tim, it's so good to see you again, my buddy. Finally got a chance to shake this guy's hand. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful, fantastic. It was absolutely wonderful to meet you, Larry, last week at Asoto. Now, if any of you guys weren't there, Larry kind of took over the show for like middays through the whole thing. You didn't know there was anything else going on because Larry was doing interviews. He was helping Joe light fires up there, and it was just a great atmosphere to be around Larry during the middays there at SotoCon.
Well, you listen. Let's be straight, so we're not just like throwing compliments around. When you get up in the morning and you're positive and you want to meet people and you're excited, it's easy. I couldn't wait to finally shake your hand. Joe Jackson and I were lucky enough to do dinner. We had a ball, but I wanted to see him again. How do you lose when you can run it? Wendy couldn't make it this particular one, but when you're running into a Russell or a Michael or the people that are on the show, if you're not having fun, it's on you. Everything is perspective. That's why at every dealership, Tim, hopefully not yours, one guy's making 200,000 and the idiot standing next to him can't make 40,000 is telling everybody how bad the place sucks because he never looked in the mirror.
Sure. Sure.
It was a pleasure. It was
Absolutely.
a pleasure.
Wonderful, wonderful time last couple of days last week.
It's only going to get better, man. We got a million things planned, all kinds of crazy stuff on tap. Russell hinted at it. I just did my first, like a TED talk, only it's a Larry talk. We're going to have it out for you guys soon. I think I made Joe laugh. I told him it's going to be, what do Charlie Brown, Spider-Man, Mother Teresa, and Elvis Presley have in common? So
I'll put that into Chat GPT.
There we go. Yeah. Chat
I don't think-
GPT,
I don't
I
think-
blow all the circuits out.
Chat GPT is not going to spit out what I heard.
Yeah. But
No,
Tim, it's great.
it'll get to your heart.
Joshua
It'll get to your
Taylor,
heart.
a fixed ops guy. He's tied in with Russell Hill, if that's not enough of a compliment. But the guy's great. And if all that wasn't enough, you talk about a great podcast. Check out his podcast with Jeff Shearer's son. Oh,
Yep.
my God, was that terrific. Go ahead, Joshua.
Appreciate the intro. And like I said, I am actively editing and producing your episode as the very first episode of the Recruiter series coming out here in about 3 weeks. So y'all watch out. I believe it's going to be, it's not May 31st, whatever, 7 days after May 31st.
Did you, wait a minute, did you say the first of the Recruiter thing? Listen, you are busier than hell. You're making money. You're supporting your family. It takes way too long to edit those things. Why don't you just run mine over here? I won't mind.
I don't need more things to do in my day. I have more than enough. In fact, I'm trying to get rid of things to do.
See, he just agreed with me. He's going to forget the other recruiters. He's just going to run me endlessly. You talked me into it, my friend. You're very persuasive.
If I'm not mistaken, one of the last things that we say is we should just do, instead of doing a series, we should just do it with the other 6 personalities that you have.
There we go. Hey, whoa. It's better to be mentally ill, okay, as your own condition than let them make you mentally ill, you know? Pre-existing condition. I'm all for it.
Fair. Speaking of which, that's why we got into doing what we're doing in the first place, is mental health across the board for mechanics. So we've got 130 plus episodes on the Wrench Turners podcast completely dedicated to the life, well-being, and productivity mechanics. So check her out. There's lots of good information in there. There's coaching for mechanics. There's all kinds of stuff. I just dropped 2 sessions that we're going to do over the summer. We're going to do 30-minute coaching sessions for mechanics, specifically about leadership. First one's I think 1 ticket away from being sold out already. So July is coming up. Just completely focused on helping mechanics. So the cool thing is I get to do that during the day too for Russell. Everything that we do provides service parts and accessories benefits to dealerships across the country. I think we signed 2 more clients today. So business is booming and service industry is getting the focus it deserves.
Well, let me say something, Joshua. What this guy does, he's got such a servant leadership heart, and he just gives and gives and gives, and but he digs in too, man. If we need something, Rick or I, the guy digs in a way and produces results like it would take me. I don't even know if I could do half of them. I mean, I couldn't do what he does. The guy is so singularly focused on a project or a product and what he does with it. And when he reports back to Rick and I, it's like we are blown away with the stuff that he comes up with. And then on the side, he does this stuff right here. All the success to you, all the glory and praise to you, Joshua, for all you do, man.
Gentlemen and ladies,
I appreciate you very much, sir. I appreciate you very much.
The 2 of you are aces. Before we jump to my girl, Wendy, we got Robert Mancho on. I recently had the pleasure. It's one of the reasons I really enjoy this show. He was brought on, man, what a gentleman. Him and I are actively talking about putting some things together for him. Robert, give everybody a quick 10-second tour of your life and what the hell's going on.
10 seconds. Well, first of all, let me just say hello, everyone. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. I feel like I'm around a lot of like-minded people when it comes to automotive. And from all different areas within the dealership. So my life revolves around and early started in automotive retail. And then I went to the vendor side where I've lived for the last 20 years, SaaS, sales, service, support, performance management, enterprise teams. So 10 seconds, there's a real quick turnaround, but just really fun to be connecting and networking. And that's why I'm here, and to see what you guys are all doing and stay abreast of what's the latest goings on. And next week, I'm definitely going to be there. AI is big, and we could talk all day about some of those thoughts. But yeah, nice to meet everybody.
You
So-
can tell that his forte was never sales because he actually did that in 10 seconds. I can't say hello in less than 28 minutes. That was artfully done, Robert. Artfully done.
So I just want to add something. I've talked to Robert every day since Monday, and had the pleasure of having conversations with him. Robert's out there right now, and he has a eye on a performance management position with a software company in the automobile space. If there's anybody who's looking for anybody, by all means, pick up the phone, call me, or connect with Robert directly on LinkedIn, and you will get an absolute winner. Absolute
Hey,
winner.
hey, Peter, I see we've got Gene, one of
Yep.
our favorites, and it looks like Jimmy's on. Would one of you fine folks like to join in? We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, hello, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
sure can.
I'm a close personal friend with Russell. We go back many moons, as far as I can remember. First time calling in. Thank you for the invite.
Jimmy, what's your last name?
Emmanuel.
Okay, because Rhonda likes to take note of people kind enough to give us their time.
Jimmy is he's a great guy. We go back at least 20 years, probably maybe 19, something like that, through 3 different companies. He's a road warrior and a relationship builder. He is a guru, really.
Jimmy, it's a pleasure, man. You're welcome here anytime you want to come in, man. We always try to keep it loose and have some fun and get everybody a chance to talk. Nobody gets to pontificate. No 20-minute speeches here, I promise.
Okay. So one of the things about this show is to bring change in the automobile industry, like true change, that we're going to actually make it customer centric rather than profit driven. So with that, there's a guy on this call that left a major company to start his own business and to drive that change, and that's Ryan. And Ryan, I'd like you to say a few words about how you feel and what you think about this automobile industry and where it's going.
Wait a minute, Peter.
on.
And he's also got to talk about his daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all everybody wants to talk about to my daughter. Man, I've been doing it 30 years. She's been doing it 6 weeks. Come on.
Right on.
Right on.
Hey, it's Skylar's dad.
Skylar's awesome. She actually just got back from Women Automotive, and I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana today, visiting Motor City, which is a big independent dealership down here in Louisiana. So a good buddy of mine started it about 20 years ago. So,
awesome.
But he is on the same page as I am, and this industry needs change, and change is coming. What I like is these events where we all get like-minded people together. I've worked for some bad dealers in the past, and I've learned what not to do, and learned from some mistakes. But I question my daughter with this. Why can't we give everyone a Lexus experience, whether they're buying a Lexus or not? It just makes no sense to me. I mean, we're making money off of consumers. Why can't we give them the the experience they deserve? The experience that they want. I've been doing this 30 years, and I have operated the same for 30 years, but nobody else is changing until now. It's just now being talked about, and that's the sad thing. Is it's just now.
Ryan, do you want the technical answer? The technical answer is because we're stupid. Because we don't realize these customers are not annoyances, they're annuities. And that if we treat them right and make them feel comfortable and like to be where we are, everybody will do great. It'd be like going into a restaurant and you sit down and the waitress goes, "You sure you want any food? You're fat." I mean, we do everything we can to push people out, to irritate them, to annoy them, or show that we're not interested. And consequently, that's their perception. But I'm with you 100%. Just makes sense to make friends with these people.
I think COVID was the best thing and the worst thing that happened. It was probably the worst thing that happened when it comes to the car market, but it's probably the best thing that happened now that COVID's over. People are now starting to realize, shit, we got to follow up with customers. We got to treat them the right way. They're not just coming in because we have the car, because it's the only car that they can find. We've got to go back to the basics, and we never should have went away from the basics. I mean, that's the problem.
What a foreign concept, huh?
Yeah, well, and the only top 10% of the dealer body treat customers the right way. I mean, we need to get that other 90% or at least 70% of it. We need it to be an 80-20 at least, not a 90-10 the opposite way. So we got to get all these dealers on board to start taking care of customers, and or they're gonna, I think the landscape of the dealership world is going to change drastically in the next 12 to 18 months. I mean, there's going to be a lot of buy sells going on with corporate stores as well. There's going to be some corporate stores that need to unload some dealerships just to save on the bottom line, and or if they want to buy a franchise in a certain area, they may have to give up one of their franchises to be able to obtain that one. So
that's right.
Exactly. That's what just happened to Ashbury when they had to unload their Lexus store. Their Fred what's it? Fred Beans? Not Fred Beans.
Yeah, I know.
Coons Lexus, they had to sell it because it was their low man on their totem pole of their 10 Lexus stores.
Yep. And that's going to be going around, I mean, with a bunch of places, I think. So I've got my eyes and ears wide open because I would love to grab a franchise in the next 12 to 18 months, but I've got to get this independent off the ground first. So we got our approval today from the Board of Works, so should have my final permits in a couple days.
Yay, man, right on.
And everybody on this show would be glad to help you in any way you need it. But if you really want to know how to treat people better, boy, what a perfect segue to go to Wendy. Wendy, how are you? Good to see you and Fred as always. We missed you in Baltimore.
Wendy, thank you for hanging out with my daughter. Thank you for hanging out with Skylar.
And you know what? I got there at the end of dinner, and she just happened to be sitting next to Fred. Kate Borowski and I were sitting at the bar eating and toasting to her birthday the next day while they dined. And then, my goodness, honestly, Ryan, I felt like I knew her for years. She's such a great girl. And she was showing us pictures of her little bonus baby.
Yep, I got a bonus granddaughter.
Yeah, what a cutie she is. What a cutie patootie. So thoroughly enjoyed my time with Skylar, and I look forward to seeing her at future events. So,
hey, Wendy, I'm a little jealous. I've never in my life had anybody say to me, thank you for spending time with my daughter. As a matter of fact, my father-in-law never said that to me. That must be a great feeling.
Perfect, Larry. So I gotta say, so many of you have struck a chord. To meet Tim in person, Fred and I have had the pleasure. Wonderful when we get to have in real life experiences. And any one of a number of you, John, to you, I say Christos Anesti. You're the only one.
Thank you.
So, and that's part of what our last couple of weeks has been.
Whoa. Not everybody speaks Greek. What Wendy just said is there's something wrong mentally with Larry Feldman, and Kostakis agreed completely. Go ahead, Wendy.
No, actually, we had Greek Easter a couple of weeks ago on Cinco de Mayo this year. And that's what you say after the resurrection for Orthodox Christians. So anyway, and then for 40 days, you say that in Greek. But anyway, so I have a chance because Fred's not Greek, obviously, and I miss the Greek. So I inject it wherever I can. But our time it was a fabulous Greek Easter Sunday. Ask Fred, cooking is one of my love languages. And I cook everything you can imagine in Greek. So I made a feast for 100 for the two of us and probably froze a good part of it. But then we had Mother's Day. Then we had women in automotive. And I got to say, I can't say that it was the content or the education that I would have absorbed as a young female in the automotive industry, but as an OG who's been a car brat and who was literally, my dad was a drag racer, and then he got busted up when I was little in diapers and became a car guy. And then he was one of the first buy here, pay here's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I've been in and out my whole life, except for a short time when we left and moved overseas. But I got value because I truly appreciate, to go back to what someone said about good and bad about COVID. I think the best thing that happened with COVID is it made us realize that it's okay for us to be human. And it's okay for us to be, one of my favorite hashtags, people helping people. And if we break it down, so it's okay if you're not in a fancy suit when you're on your Zoom meeting, or if you're business on top and you're in your underwear with rubber boots on the bottom because you just had a flood in the basement or whatever it is, it's okay. Because before anything else, we're people helping people. And it has sparked collaborations, which first started out. A lot of these guys from AutoGenius and a lot of these new SaaS company owners and CTOs and CMOs and CSOs and whatever, DPs and whatever, we all hung out in many of us hung out in my BDC room back during COVID. So now to see all of you thriving and booming and providing such great things for our customers and our dealers really, really makes my soul happy. And I was going to start out by saying my cup runneth over and my heart is full because of Larry and Peter and all of you right here. And I have little shivers on my shoulders. So I have a little angel like corroborating, like saying, yeah, Wendy, go, go, go. So anyway, you know me, I can be that long-winded person that you need to all of a sudden mute. So that's all I have to say. You are all indeed beautiful people, and you all make my soul happy. And I'm just happy to be here.
Well, we love you.
We love you,
Wendy.
Wendy. Hey, we got my friend Gene from the Scott Auto Group. Man, you talk about
Jeannie. Yay. Hey, Jeannie.
Would you like to join in, Jeannie? Because we'd love to hear from you if you'd like to join in.
I think I talked her ear off today. I had about a 6-hour call with her today.
Are you serious? How do you talk to somebody for 6 hours like that?
Oh, there's lots to talk about, Russell. Lots to talk.
Have you not met Peter? I feel confident he could talk for 6 hours.
Yeah, I was being facetious. Exactly.
Russell, it's all AI.
I knew it.
April, it's fabulous to see you. Tell us a little bit about what's going on. We know you're running around fixing every darn problem you can there and still smiling. How are things going? And
well, I know I'm super duper late. I just had to make sure that I made this call today to tell you happy anniversary.
Yes.
And how much I really appreciate this conversation. It's one of my favorite conversations because it's real. It's probably one of the most real conversations that exist. It's fun. I always know I'm going to laugh, and it's like an opportunity to spend time with my best friends. And I think that's the most important part of it. And I just, I caught the end of Wendy there, and I can't agree more. I just appreciate all of you as people first, and great, brilliant minds second. And couldn't miss saying happy anniversary. And I did see in the notes that there was going to be no swear jar, and so I also felt the need to join so that I can get a couple of them in if need be.
So what you're saying is you're going to channel your inner Brooke Fairness.
Bingo. I really think there are times that we share something there. Brooke and I definitely like to use
Keep
the
it
words
real.
for sure. That's right.
Keep it real. Hey, Mike, we started off before we jumped on air. One of my really good buddies, and I think everybody feels the same way about him. That knows him, Paul Meyer. Paul, man, you seem like you're the only guy out there traveling more than I am. Tell us something interesting, or tell us something you tripped over or learned recently, because if anybody doesn't know, you hang with Paul, there's always a good meal, there's always good conversation. Paul, what's happening, my friend?
Man, I am loving life. Travel's crazy. I've been to Chicago a bunch of times, Wisconsin, Detroit, where else? Cleveland, Long Island. I'm headed to New Hampshire on a 4:30 flight tomorrow. Wonderful. I'm doing sales and service training. And I love coming into stores, established stores, high volume stores. And as you start to have the conversation, you see people that have no notepads all of a sudden quickly reach for notepads and start taking pages and pages and pages worth of notes. I like to approach things a little bit differently than the traditional. I'm not the type of sales trainer that teaches them verbal jujitsu. I'm the guy that gets into the head and gets them to look at different ways of doing things. And I'm having a tremendous amount of fun. They seem to be getting a lot out of it. And in the meantime, I get to visit some great restaurants. I get to see some friends across the country. I had dinner with my buddy Bill last night, and I had John Fraser. I had dinner with him the night before. And then on Long Island, I had dinner with another friend whom I met through my food group on Facebook, Restaurants USA. So I'm building quite a network of people.
Paul, they may not know, John Fraser is as good a service manager as anybody in the country. You talk about a gentleman, and plays a mean saxophone too.
He does.
And we all know there's nothing better than great sax.
Excuse me?
He's from Connecticut. What do you want?
So no, I'm loving life. Things are really great. I mean, as my late mother-in-law would say, I have nothing to complain about. Just having a lot of fun. And when I grow up one day, I want to be you, Larry, because you have the most fun of anybody I've ever met.
Who said I ever grew up? Hey, Jean's back. Jean, would you like to contribute? For anybody that doesn't know, she's the brand ambassador for the Scott Group. You never saw anybody more hands-on, always smiling, no matter what nonsense she has to put up with. She's moving. She puts up with me. Do I have to say anything more? Go ahead, Jean.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. We can hear you perfectly.
Oh, that's so good. So I was in driving mode and then trying to walk in and put myself off of mute, and the whole thing just went off track and it hung up on me.
No. That was Russell muted you because he heard you say you like Hey Jude more than I am the Walrus.
Knew it.
And Russell is all John Lennon all the time.
I knew it. They're like, this lady starts to talk. She can really talk. You know that, Peter, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Well, I'm just absorbing a lot of the really good back and forth. I'm participating where I can. You know, this has just been a great joy. I'm full of gratitude for the new friendships that I'm creating. And I'm just really enjoying myself in this new circle. I wish you could see my face. Do I just look like a big icon?
Well,
no, you look like
no video.
No video.
Yeah, it's just your name. So I met, I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3 months ago. She appeared on Sunday morning on SDL, Service Drive Live, which is really a phenomenal thing. It's a little too early probably for some people, right? There's some clappers in here. And next thing I know, you know, she's on Clubhouse in the mornings now. She's fully engaged with everybody. And then I run into her at SodaCon and get to hug her and talk with her for the first time. And now she's in here. She is really, she's spreading her wings and networking in a big way. So kudos to you for all you're doing.
Thank you. I'm taking it all in and I am doing my best to put my thoughts out there. I love feedback. I love challenges. And I'm learning so much. Like I said, I've spent a lot of time with our teams and on the variable side, fixed ops. I'm kind of crazy about fixed ops. I don't know how one side gets, you know, kind of charged you up more than another, you know, or maybe it's just like at different points and places in your learning and your journey, maybe.
Yeah.
It could, you know what, it's that excitement that we get just charged from this industry, and that's why it's one of the industries once you're in, you can never get out.
Yes, it's like that Eagles song about the hotel, right?
Yeah. Oh, now you're trying to be like Larry and be funny.
I know, I tried so hard, but we'll leave that up to Larry.
She was quoting Don Henley. You can check it anytime you want. You can never leave. We got it. By the way.
Thank you, Larry. You see the synergy between you and I. No wonder we love like being in training sessions together.
There it is. By the way, for anybody that wonders how my pay structure works, I'm going to be at one of Jeannie's stores next week, and she will confirm I don't get paid to come. I get paid to leave. It's always a good negotiating point to get me the hell out of the store.
We get a lot of great feedback. They really enjoy it. That's why you have returned several times, and we really value the time you spend with us. You know that.
Me too.
I think everyone values you.
Well, I just show up and do my best. It's my father always said, everybody in the graveyard would get up to take every one of your problems. So
You
rather
seem to
than
be an
show up and be
industry
miserable,
favorite.
show up and have some damn fun. By the way, if you think everybody you've met so far tonight is nice, we saved one of the nicest guys, if not the nicest guys, for last. Fred Thorne. Fred, can't have an anniversary show without hearing from you, my buddy. How are things going?
Hey, happy anniversary.
Thank
to all you guys. Here I was thinking, okay, a lot of people, I know most of the people here, but the people who don't is I'm with Wendy and I carry her luggage, drive her RV, and she's kind of maybe bucking me out of that job. She was coming back from Colorado Springs. We drove up there. She drove the first 9 hours. I'm going, honey, I can take over. No, you said you didn't want to drive. I'm going to drive. That's all I got to say. Anyway, it was no, I had good news today. Found out I got my knee surgery scheduled the 6th of June. So I've been hobbling around for like a year, and going to the doctors and try to get cleared and everything. They send you one doctor and they say, oh, what's in your way, this doctor? And it all come out fine.
Good for you.
What you haven't done?
So,
What you haven't done, Fred?
You got audio challenges there, Fred.
They'll fix that when they fix his knee. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there you go.
Is he getting a replacement?
Partially, he told me. I had the right one done. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you got the right way done, and you just start to talk about the left.
No, the right one done maybe 10 years ago. Total. It's like you can't partial. What's that? I never heard of it. Well, half your knee is arthritic and bone to bone. The other one's fine. I'm like, well, what happens when it goes bad? You gotta go back in and do it. So he said, well, we'll see when it gets closer to it. So I was supposed to get a CT scan, a week before, and they'll find out then.
Hey, Fred, we love you. Everybody on this show wishes you the smoothest surgery and the absolute speediest recovery. And we've got a buddy of mine. Let me say this to you. If you want to talk about networking, when you're lucky enough to meet a guy named Jeff Shearer, not only do I love this guy, do I love his son, have I broken bread with him, but every damn time I turn around, he's introduced me to another friend. Jeff, please tell us how you're doing and how things are going. We appreciate, respect the hell out of you.
Thanks for that, man. I just dig it too. Robert and I met through another common friend, and I've had the pleasure of introducing him to you and Peter and others in the room. And, if I can get Jeff Stearns to come back, he's the second funniest guy next to Larry.
Yeah, Jeff, I love Jeff. Jeff tells it just like it is, man. I love his podcast.
He's a great guy, and continually, and I tell people that, and I think I shared it with Robert. I said, nobody is joining our group with their hand out.
Nope.
See, what can you do for me, man? We're all here shoulder to shoulder, helping each other, and just spiritually, if nothing else, right?
Right on.
We have great conversations offline. Mike Larkin and I talk a lot. Peter and I talk a lot. Larry and I talked today for a spell, and it's just that's what enriches it for me. So thank you.
Well, I love your Abbey Road backdrop, my friend.
So I just want to jump in. I think everyone has had the opportunity to speak tonight. So I want to jump in and just say a few words. So I got back into the car business after deciding to get out for the third time, and came back in 2021. 2022. And I came in out of a bout of anger. And it was how I was dealt with at a car dealership that I actually worked at. And it was so bad that I said, I want to change the world. It was the mission that I had, was the fuel to propel me to change the world. And in doing so, I was introduced to a couple of people in Canada, Ian and Jeff, who have the Auto Hub show. And on that, I met Larry, I met Doug, I met Wendy, I met Russell, I met April, I met Kaylee, I met a ton of people through that show. And in doing that, I became their resident guest and got to meet more and more people, and went to different trade shows and got to meet more people, and really got embraced into the US car culture. But the one person that I met the most and has really changed the dynamics the most was Larry Feldman. And Larry took me under his wing and said, hey, you know what? We'll get you introduced to everybody. We'll get you people to engage with you and do things for you. And when times are tough, and I know this, when times are tough, Larry is the very first person to step up to the plate and make sure things happen. He invests in you. He takes his time. He's genuinely empathetic and caring about who you are. Larry started this show last year with Brian Maxwell, and from the very first episode onwards, I've been a part of this show. And when Brian chose to go in a different path because of his challenges with timing and scheduling, Larry asked me to step up and be part of the show with him. I immediately said absolutely, because Larry is always there for everyone else. So I did it for Larry. And I've never looked back. I've sat there for hours on end, making sure that everything is there, just like Rhonda does. And Rhonda doesn't get the accolades that she should, because she is the person behind the scenes, making sure that the Zooms are all ready to go and everything else. And Larry and I just step in and make it happen. So I thank Rhonda just as much as I thank Larry on this. But the reason why I'm thanking Larry is I would not be continued into this business. I wouldn't be here talking to you if it wasn't for Larry, because Larry has supported my business to make sure that I can serve everyone else. So there is a true, generous, godlike character in automobiles, and that's Larry Feldman. And I just want everyone to know how I feel about it.
Well, we love you guys, and happy anniversary. It's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Gary, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Now that was from
Flintstones.
The Flintstones. I have it on my wall.
And who can someone tell me who the piano thief was? 88 Fingers Louie.
Oh, I cannot.
Yeah, it was 88 Fingers Louie. But
I
everyone,
can't believe you remembered that.
I remember everything, Michael.
Guys, ladies, we
Yes.
appreciate you. You have no idea how much we all look, well, I'll speak for myself, how much I look forward to seeing you guys, talking to you guys, and working with you guys. And just everybody stay healthy. We'll try to have even more fun next week. And I'll be talking to most, if not all of you, the coming week. Like I said, we got some really big things we're working on with some videos and stuff. And just looking forward to working with everybody all the time. Thank you all so much. And Peter, very kind words. Thank you, sir.
And one thing to remember, tomorrow night on the Automotive Innovators and Disruptors Clubhouse room, I have Doug Reeves and David Lowitz talking about how to make your dealership different as your why.
Larry, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a
it's-
great show.
Absolutely. So please join us tomorrow night. These two, Doug and David, are true pillars of basically intelligence in this industry. So please join us.
Everybody stay healthy and thank you so
Take
much.
care.
for joining
Peace
us.
out.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. See you
Good
next
luck, Fred.
week.